From the majestic kingdoms of the past to the resilient spirit of the present, Nigeria's history is a tale of strength, perseverance, and triumph which has witnessed the rise and fall of great eras, each leaving a mark on the rich textiles of its heritage. But the echoes of these powerful kingdoms and great eras of the past are fast eroding from the hearts of the people. So, how do we recreate a sense of connection to our past? Who will rise to promote empathy and a sense of shared purpose among our past and future generations? Meet 30 outstanding young Nigerians from the North, West, East and South regions of the country in the Young Historian Competition, determined to connect the courage of past generations to the glorious heritage of the present and future generations. Their mission is to inspire a positive attitude to the knowledge of history and provide a link between the past and future generations. Who will emerge as Nigeria's first champion of history? The Young Historian Competition, an initiative of the Restored Heart Foundation, is aimed at promoting knowledge of history among undergraduates of Nigeria's tertiary institutions. Over 2,000 applications were sent in by prospective participants, out of which 30 of the finest gained entry into the competition. And after 4 rigorous stages with stiff competition from other contestants, 2 men stand out as the ultimate challengers for the title of the Keeper of African History. Luke Idowu Daramola from the University of Ilorin, representing the North Central region, is up against Abdul Malik Isa Abubakar from Bayero University, Kano, representing the Northwest region. Both men stand in the way of each other for the coveted title, and one must outdo the other to emerge winner of the Young Historian Competition. It's a battle of wits and articulate prowess, as both contestants get to speak to a teeming audience and attentive judges to provide a convincing argument to their perspective of the topic of discussion. Who will emerge winner of the Young Historian Competition? Will it be Luke or Abdul Malik?
Young Historian Competition, the Keeper of African History.
The Young Historian Competition, an initiative of the Restored Heart Foundation, is aimed at promoting knowledge of history among undergraduates of Nigeria's tertiary institutions. This is in a bid to inspire patriotism and promote the values of unity in Nigeria.
The Young Historian Competition is an inter-university history competition created to provide a platform for young people in higher institutions to understand Nigeria and African history through healthy rivalry. This year, we had over 2,000 applications, of which only 30 participants emerged at the competition level. 6 of these participants qualified for the quarter-final stage hosted by the University of Calabar, with only 4 further qualifying to compete at the semi-final stage hosted by Bayero University, Kano, after an intense debate competition. The semi-final stage birthed 2 of our finalists competing today at the grand finale for the title of the Keeper of the African History. Our theme for the maiden edition of today's event is Bridging the Past, Building the Future, celebrating Nigeria's journey towards unity and progress. Both triumphs and challenges have marked Nigeria's journey towards unity and progress. We have overcome the shackles of colonialism and emerged as an independent nation, yet we still have a long way to go. It is very imperative to confront the challenges we faced in the past and are still facing in the present with all hands on deck. For only by acknowledging our past can we build a better future. Today, I want us to reflect upon our nation's journey, acknowledging our triumphs and challenges. On this timely occasion, I encourage us to renew our commitment to nation building in every way possible for the development of our nation, because indeed, we are the future of this country.
500,000 naira in academic scholarship is up for grabs. The winner also gets a 5-day trip to Kenya, a year data bundle and campus ambassadorial deal from DigiPiper, and a 1-year subscription on Career Paddy, amongst other juicy benefits.
We are going to watch the 2 finalists argue their way to the crown of the Keeper of African History. They are going to be talking on the topic, preserving the legacy the enduring significance of the labors of our heroes past. Now, our judges are going to be judging them on the following criteria: their confidence, coherence, time management, and then quality of research.
Young Historian Competition, the keeper of African history.
The moment has come, and the stage is now set for the two finalists to give their final shot at becoming the keeper of African history. Luke Ido Daramola will take the stage first, while Abdul Malik Isa Abubakar will get his turn afterwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome our first speaker, Luke Daramola.
George Santayana, a Spanish-American-born philosopher, once said, and I quote, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it." I am Daramola Luke, a student of the University of Ilorin. Rome was not built in a day. Nigeria, in her democratic transition, has gone through several phases in her history. But one thing that stands Nigeria is the fact that you and I still ensures that the labor of our heroes past are well and alive. I would love to give due credence to the composer of the Nigerian national anthem, Pa Benedict Odiase. In the year 1978, Pa Benedict composed our national anthem. According to Gerard Way, heroes are ordinary people who make themselves extraordinary, and that's it, nothing more, nothing less. The heroes of our past, the Nigerian heroes, are men and women who has made notable contributions to the growth of our nation across various fields. I classify these heroes into three different components: past, present, and unsung heroes. These heroes has made our nations proud in the field of politics, in the field of sports, in the field of entertainment, and also across various fields in the nation. In the field of politics, the fathers of our independence, they ensured that Nigeria became an independent state and freed our nation from the shackles of British colonialism. We had men like Chinua Achebe, who through his books, Things Fall Apart, portrayed the Nigerian culture and by extension, the African culture to other parts of the world. Wole Soyinka today is doing marvelously well in the field of literature. Flora Uwampa inspired a generation of young female Nigerian writers, in which Chimamanda Adichie is part of. In the field of music, we had musicians such as the Afrobeat legend Fela Anikulapo Kuti, who through his music portrayed the Nigerian culture. We had other musicians such as Sunny Ade, among others. In the field of sports, the names are countless. In the stream of this lecture, I would love to state that there are certain individuals who have done the nation proud, but their contributions are not recognized. These are the people I classified as unsung heroes. Who are our unsung heroes? Our unsung heroes includes our teachers across various institutions, community leaders who ensures the peace and the progress of their community, environmentalists who ensure that Nigeria becomes green, our doctors who stayed in the country and never traveled during the era of COVID-19. These are indeed our heroes, and it is very, very important we give due credence to their efforts to our national development. What lessons can we learn from the lives and deeds of our heroes? In terms of leadership, the fathers of our independence, despite their differences, placed the interest of Nigerians at heart. Today, our leaders across various levels should imbibe that quality in them. And of course, it is important as Nigerians today that we imbibe that quality in ourselves. Moving on to the second lesson, patriotism is key to a progressive nation. As Nigerians today, we have to exhibit that love for our nation. We have to show that Nigeria should come first in every of our dealings. Patriotism should guide the course of your action as a Nigerian. The fathers of our independence were seekers after knowledge. Even after studying in other parts of the world, they came back to the country and they utilized their intellectual capacity to the benefit of the nation. Despite their exposure to Western culture and civilization, they engaged in diplomatic activity, putting on our traditional attire. And even up till date, our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, keeps up with that tradition. So I implore every Nigerian today to ensure that while we venture into other parts of the world, our native attire is portrayed to other culture and civilizations of the world. How can we ensure that the labor of our heroes past remains relevant in these present times? The first thing that comes to mind is the teaching of history. History as a discipline should not be left for historians alone. Every Nigerian, every field should be well versed with the history of the country. Secondly, if we observe public celebration and holidays in the names of our heroes, of course, it will ring a bell in this generation and also in other generations to come. I would love to speak on community engagement. We need more initiatives like the Restored Art Foundation to ensure that the history of our country is well engraved in the minds of all and sundry. Moving on to the next slide. How can the stories and sacrifices of our heroes serve as a source of guidance and motivation for the youths of today? The first thing it does is that it inspires inspiration for perseverance. In terms of leadership and civic engagement, our heroes imbibe in themselves civic responsibility. They place the interests of Nigerians at heart, and while keeping away their personal interests. How does the recognition of our heroes contribute to a sense of national pride and identity? One, it fosters a sense of pride. We are gathered here today because of our heroes. We are proud of them. If we are not proud of them, we will not be here today. Secondly, it promotes social cohesion. Nigeria is, though we are united in our diversity, but our heroes serve as a melting pot. Our heroes serve as a common ground that brings all Nigerians together. Third, it enhances a shared cultural identity. At this point, I would love to speak to every Nigerian. If you are a Yoruba person, you have to throw away your Yorubaness, in quotes. If you are an Igbo person, you have to take away your Igbo-ness. If you are an Hausa person, you have to take away your Hausa-ness. And as Nigerians, we have to imbibe the spirit of Nigerianness and by extension, the Africanist spirit in ourselves. According to Tom McCall, heroes are not giant statues framed against a red sky. They are people who say, this is my community and it's my responsibility to make it better. And at this point, I will urge every Nigerian to as well place the interest of the nation at heart. Moving on to, I would love to leave you with a quote by Jide Onwo, a Nigerian TV host and presenter. He says, don't work to change Nigeria because it's a duty. Let's work to change Nigeria because we have no choice. At this point, I would love everybody seated here to join me as we recite the national pledge in order for us to imbibe in ourselves the spirit of nationalism and the spirit of patriotism. At the countdown of 3, I would love everybody to place his or her hand on the chest as we recite the national pledge. 3, 2, 1. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity, and uphold and honor and glory. So help me God. Amen. God bless you all, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Young Historian Competition, the keeper of African history.
The panel of our impartial judges, the accurate timekeeper, the MC for today, the honorably invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abu Abdul Malik Abubakar Isa, representing Bayero University, Kano. Looking at the context of today as an independent day, I believe it is deliberate to contextualize this topic for today in order to appreciate our past heroes who labored for our independence. I mean our political heroes, not disregarding the significant contribution that was given by other heroes in different spectrum of Nigeria's development, from religious side, from military side, business side, literature side, and other important side for the development of Nigeria. Looking at the board, these are Nigerians who are celebrating Nigeria's independence. They were the first set of Nigerian on the day Nigeria attained to its independence that they celebrated Nigeria's independence. Yes, we should celebrate, but then why do we celebrate Nigeria's independence? What were the happenings behind celebrating Nigeria's independence? Then, who are the people that stood behind Nigeria's independence, that became her heroes, whom we are singing their song today after they have been long dead, but their spirit is together with us? This is the journey I will invite you through, to know about those patriotic, charismatic, and nationalistic Nigerians that stood behind the celebration of this day we are celebrating today in Nigeria. This is a very well-known man to you. His face is very famous. This is the first Nigeria's Prime Minister, Alhaji Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, the Golden Boys of Africa, who received the symbol of Nigeria's independence on the 1st of October 1960. He has very important message to speak to you and I and other Nigerians.
1 week ago, the clocks were striking midnight, and Nigeria was on the threshold of independence. There was a brief ceremony at which the leaders of 3 different faiths each said a brief prayer. We then realized, all of us, that however much we might imagine ourselves to be responsible for the happy accession to independence, we realized that above all, there is a divine providence. And I do honestly believe that one primary essential to international friendship and cooperation is for each man to be true to his religious beliefs and to reaffirm the basic principles of his particular creed. It may be that then, when we hear the world crying out for peace, we may receive the inspiration to deal with these intractable problems and be able really to devote all our resources to the advancement of mankind by applying those eternal truths which will inevitably persist long after we ourselves are utterly forgotten. Thank you, Mr. President.
But before analyzing his statements, let me take you briefly through the history of Nigeria. Before the coming of colonial masters, we were never Nigeria. Each region was standing on its own. Many Europeans came to Nigeria, but I will concentrate on the colonial masters relative to our topic for discussion today. They came to Lagos and invaded Lagos in 1851. In 1861, they annexed Lagos. Through that contentious treaty signed by King Dosimo, annexing Lagos to the colonial masters. Then they declared Lagos in 1862 as a British colony. After that, they extended their mission to the southern Nigeria, where they amalgamated Lagos Colony and southern Nigeria to be known as Lagos Colony and Protectorate of Southern Nigeria. They never relented. They extended to the north and amalgamated the northern Nigeria together with the southern Nigeria, or the Protectorate, and Lagos Colony to be known as the Protectorate of Northern Nigeria. That is when we started as a country called Nigeria. You can clearly recall in 2014, we celebrated 100 years centenary of existence as Nigerians. Then the early move against British colonial rule. In 1925, amazing, a Nigerian from outside Nigeria in Britain formed West African Student Union, the first union which stretched its branches across West African countries and served for the participation of Nigerians in their governance. But then it was not a political party. Mr. Herbert Macaulay in 1920 formed Nigerian National Development Party, NNDP. That party was the first party that was granted chance to participate in election for only 2 Nigerians to participate in the governance of their country, Lagos and Calabar, only with the exclusion of Northern Region. Then the creation of Northern Region by the Richard Constitution in 1943. The creation of regions, North, West, South, Eastern regions, sorry. After the creation of these regions, then the full-blown political move started widening all over. Nigerians started participating in the political parties formed at that time. In the North, the famous Northern People Congress. In the West, the Action Group led by Chief Obafemi Awolowo. In the East, NCNC, Nigerian National Council of Nigerian Citizens, which was formerly called National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon, led by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. These were the leaders that took Nigeria to the limelight and attained to its independence. There are exceptional qualities we should learn from these leaders that we are singing their song today. We should learn their own dedication. We should learn their dedication and sacrifice to their leadership role and exemplary skills and philosophy in their leadership. Unity to achieve a particular goal. These leaders are those, despite their diverse cultures, ethnic groups, and religion, they came together under one single voice, nothing but the freedom of Nigerians. Love for the masses and followers, progressive mind. Ahmed Bello was the first person to have the focus that the North, throughout the period of colonialism, never had a university. He laid the foundation and built the famous and one of the top universities all over Africa, Ahmed Bello University, Zaria. We should preserve the legacies of these leaders. We should inculcate the spirit of their patriotism to our younger ones in schools through their courses and teachings. We should develop archives, monuments, and hagiographies to always remember these leaders were not saints, but rather patriotic and nationalistic leaders. By conducting annual memorial lectures in honor of their living souls, we should create charity groups and foundations in their names to supplement their effort and dreams. We should immortalize their pictures and statues at public places and museums. We should establish tombs in their honors. We can see no doubt Nigerians of today and the future can get hugely inspired from the patriotic services of our greatest heroes and heroines, whose labor for our motherland will continue to outlive them for many centuries to come. Hence, both the present and the future generations of Nigerians have it all to learn at their disposal from the spirit of nationalism and human freedom of Mr. Herbert Macaulay. The progressive mind and vision of Chief Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the courage and determination of Mr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the leadership philosophy and generosity of Sir Ahmed Bello, and the foreign philosophy and national unity of the late former Nigeria's Prime Minister Alhaji Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa.
Young Historian Competition, the keeper of African history.
The next edition of the Young Historian Competition is around the corner. Join us in this epic adventure where the brightest young minds in Nigeria compete for glory as they uncover stories of the past and explore ancient civilizations. For partnership opportunities, visit the rhfoundation.org/YHC or call the Restored Heart Foundation on 0708 616 0542.
Young Historian Competition, the keeper of African history.
Following the contest were side attractions to spice up the event, music, spoken word, and other events lit up the atmosphere to the delight of the audience. Then came the judges' feedback.
I would like to just talk on your individual strengths, what you did well and what you should improve upon, because you are our future leaders. So you are the one standing here right now. Look, you did very well. Well done. However, when you came up, your introduction was not so powerful, was not so engaging. You know, the first few seconds when you get on the stage, you need to get our attention. I noticed that you struggled a bit when you came up here. However, you flowed very well. You opened our minds that it's not only those that formed Nigeria, that there's some silent heroes. And that was amazing. The teachers, the writers, doctors, that you are not only a hero because you formed Nigeria. The little things you are doing, you are making Nigeria work. And that was very good to know from you. And I loved your audience engagement. The fact that you made all of us stand up to recite the play, that was very powerful. That means we followed you throughout your presentation. So well done. Put your hands together for him. Well done. Well done. However, recommendation to you, I would like you to look at the audience more and also try and use pauses. Calm down. Try and calm down so we could take what you're saying as you were saying it. Now to the second contestant, Abubakar Isa. Well done for being here at the grand finale. You had a very powerful opening. You came here and you showed us a video that was so powerful. Good, well done. And your voice, you were very calm. We heard everything you were saying. You showed us that you had internalized your presentation and you had everything under control. However, you need to pay attention to your time management, use of time. You spent so much time talking about all the other things and you now rushed at the end that we're almost panting for you because you're looking at the time. So you need to utilize your time properly.
With both contestants waiting patiently to find out who has done the most to be crowned the keeper of African history, the tension could be seen as they sat in anticipation, hoping that they had given it what it takes to achieve the title. Eventually, the moment in time came to be.
This is the time we are going to know who the champion is, who the keeper of African history will be, who is going to take the crown. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your last two finalists. The first position and the winner of the maiden edition of the Young Historian Competition is the keeper of African history is, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Abdul Malik Isa Abubakar. Woo!
Abdul Malik Isa Abubakar has weathered the storm, overcoming challenges from the north, east, west, and south of Nigeria to emerge winner of the Young Historian Competition, the keeper of African history.
Looking at the past we're coming from tells us who we are, where we're going to, the struggles, all the battles and the pain. We're in the fatherland, right where we belong, Let's take a journey back there to where it all began. Let's know the history.